Rules are the basis. Teaching is the essence. Purity is the force. Utility is the principle. Okay. So purity is the force. We need force. For that we have to remain very pure in our heart. So Lord Balaram provides this force, this purity. It is mentioned in 4th canto Bhagavatam. Tanau Vyanjita Kaishorau Samavrittau Nirantarau Vastrantena Nihuhantim Vridaya Gajagamini. Gajagamini means usually somebody has compared beautiful walking. It's compared to Gajagamini. Gajagamini means walking like an elephant. Okay? So usually we don't say they are eating like an animal. If we say that somebody eating like an animal, they feel bad. But if somebody says he's like walking like an animal, then that means he's considered praise. Right? Which is the most beautiful animal? Bird.
Animal.
Deer. Cow. Cow.
Horse, you said? Yeah, horse. Horse? Yes. So Prabhupada said horse is the most beautiful animal.
Horse stand, when he stand also.
Yeah, once horse sitting is finished. That is near. Horses never sit. Then sitting is finished. So, beautiful woman is walking in the midst of the forest like a Gajagamini. Right? All her bodily parts are very beautiful. Then she is trying to cover her body with the edge of her sari. Right? So, in this verse, this verse is quoted from 4th canto Bhagavatam by Narad Muni. The Puranjan, the story of Puranjan, right? So the meaning of this verse, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that usually, we are all actually attracted to material enjoyment. Then women's breasts are compared to raga and dvesha, like attachment and envy, or kam or krodh, lust and anger. So somebody may say that, see, I have this lust, greed and anger, what to do? Just leave it. Like nowadays they have this fashion, love, I love you for what you are. So don't expect, you just love me for what I am. Don't expect me to become perfect or pure or anything. So I have all these problems, please love me along with my faults. Right? But it doesn't work out like that. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that just like this lady is he's covering her body, her chest, with the edge of the sari. Like that, we should not, okay, we have this lust, greed and anger, so we should not actually manifest them. We should cover them. So covering them means we should purify them. So we have this problem of lust and anger. So soul is actually is very much enchanted by this material enjoyment. Like in another 11th canto Bhagavatam, 11th canto Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that analogy is given. That someone is watching TV, you are watching TV. India, Pakistan, or your regular Saas Bahu serial is going on. It's very interesting, is going on. And suddenly, one cobra also comes. Cobra is also watching. But cobra is not watching TV, he is watching you. So, will you be able to sit peacefully and watch TV? Huh? So that is our situation in this material world. Right? Constantly we are suffering with the onslaught of Maya. Keep quiet. Right? Constantly we are suffering with the onslaught of Maya, and then we want to enjoy. How it is possible? When cobra is there, unless cobra goes away, we chase away the cobra. How can we, sit peacefully and enjoy watching TV? Like that, as long as we have this problem in our heart, this lust, greed and anger, we can never be peaceful, in this material world. We can never be peaceful. So that, we have to, so it's not like, okay, what to do, best use of that bargain. Somehow, we'll try to extract some enjoyment like that. Russell will give a very nice example that suppose, all these people nowadays, they have to work very hard. Go to the, travel in the train, that itself is hellish. Then even if you travel by car also, there's a lot of traffic jams and all. Then you go to the office and the boss is troubling you, or even if it's not troubling, that itself is troublesome. You have to meet some targets, you have to achieve something, otherwise like that. But when you come back, if you are lucky, fortunate, the wife is there and she opens the door smilingly and gives a glass of water, right? That is so. Then you think, okay, we are now free from suffering. Okay. But it is just like, suppose all these prisoners in the prison house, they are working very hard, and suddenly they ring the bell. That means time for food. Oh, now because they are rigorous imprisonment means they have to break the stones and all. Whatever. So you come back and then you eat food. Now I am free from all this rigorous imprisonment. But actually, it's not like that. After eating, again you have to go back. Right? Again you have to go back. In the same way, life may be giving you nice food and little pleasure and all, but again next day morning you have to go to office and same, salary nahi milega. Right? Like that, there's a hard struggle for material existence goes on like that. So unless we get out of this situation, we cannot actually be peaceful under this circumstance. Only little bit relief, but again we have to go back to breaking the stones. That's all. Like that. So that is why Lord Balaram comes into the picture. Like why actually Lord Balaram appeared. We have to understand why Lord Krishna appears. Why in this world, why incarnations take place. Like that, it is said in Niti Shastra that there are three levels of people, three classes of people: low class people, middle class people, and first class people. First class people, second class people, third class people. So third class people, when they meet with each other, they discuss about people. He is like that, she is like that, he is doing like that, she is doing like that. So they discuss about the people. Second class people, they discuss about the incidents, Ghatana. Then first class people, they discuss about Tattva. Right? Tattva. Siddhanta. That's why Krishna is saying, Janma karma chame divyam, evam yo veti tattvataha, tyakva deham punarjanma, naitimam eti so Arjuna. Krishna is saying, if somebody understands Tattva of my birth and activities, that's transcendental, then they will not have to take birth again. So, this Tattva, we have to understand. Why Krishna appears, why Lord Balaram appears, like that. Many people, they have an objection. These Mayavadis and Muslims and Christians and all, they say, why God has to appear? Why God has to appear in this material world? So Srila Prabhupada used to ask, why if God comes, why you have any difficulty? Right? So this is once Akbar and Birbal they were discussing, and Birbal they were Akbar objected, why Lord Vishnu appears again and again. Said, then Birbal said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. Because in order to protect the devotees, so in order to protect the devotees, why can't he send his assistants, Vishnudutas and all? Why he has to come personally? Right? It doesn't make sense. He was arguing with them. Birbal said, when the time comes, I will answer. And one day on the birthday of Akbar, Birbal arranged Nauka Yatra for all his family members. Meanwhile, he instructed some of his assistants to make, a statue looking similar to his son. Small statue. He carried it secretly. So when in the middle of the river, when they were going and Gana Bajana was going on, and suddenly he told his assistants that they have hidden his son somewhere, and they told his assistant to throw that statue in the river. So it's exactly looking like a river statue, looking like one son only. So he then immediately Akbar saw, arise, my son has thrown into the river, and immediately all his soldiers who had come along with him, they also jumped into the river. And meanwhile Akbar was very disturbed. He said, okay, my son has fallen into the river. And immediately he took out all his crown and all, and he also jumped into the river. And they were searching, and they found a statue. And Akbar was very furious, Rascal, what you are playing games with me? He said, what happened, Badshah? He said, no, I thought my son is drowning. Okay, your son is drowning, you thought, but your assistant soldiers and all, they have already jumped into the river. Why you have to jump? Right? Then Akbar said, no, he is my son. How can I just say it? Yeah, now you understand? That is why Lord also comes. Because his devotees, they are in trouble. That's why Lord comes. So, more than Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkritam, more than killing dushkritas, demons, Krishna actually comes to protect his devotees. Not only protect, he wants to actually perform pastimes with the devotees. Actually, devotees want to take part, in the pastimes of the Lord. Right? Like Friday I was telling, the devotees of ISKCON who are practicing Krishna consciousness, if they become perfect in their sadhana, in the next life they can take birth where Krishna is performing pastimes in Boma Vrindavan. Okay? We will join in the pastimes of the Lord. Then you will be trained. You will be trained how to dress the Lord, how to serve the Lord, how to cook for the Lord. So the whole ISKCON is meant for that, training people to join the pastimes of. Right? Many times I told this. Sometimes one devotee asked Prabhupada, pure devotees like you, are they in anxiety sometimes? Prabhupada said, no, I don't have any anxiety. Yeah, but sometimes I have one anxiety. And then the devotees asked, what is that anxiety, Prabhupada? No, I am very anxious to know what is there in Krishna's lunch box. Sandesh or Peda or Laddu. So Prabhupada is very fond of Laddu. So and I think he was telling to one devotee when he was giving massage, then he said, he was actually, Prabhupada sometimes he would speak and all. So at that time Prabhupada was lost in thoughts. Then the devotee asked, Prabhupada, what are you thinking? He said, no, I'm just thinking whether Mother Yashoda packed laddus or not. Krishna's lunch box. Krishna's lunch box. Then he said, if you cook laddus for me, I will stay for more time. Okay? So like that. Then Prabhupada told, after that, my only anxiety is that what is there in Krishna's lunch box. Then Prabhupada said, destiny of all Hare Krishna devotees to join the picnic of Krishna, Balaram and the Sakhas. So every day they have, like we had a picnic in Vada. After so many years we went for a picnic. But for Krishna's pastimes, every day
It's picnic time.
Right? Like Rajesh Agarwal and they were saying, it was so nice, Prabhuji, it was so nice. Actually, that is a life, you know. It's not going to work and earning money and selling marble. And so this is life, you know. What we have done in Vada, that is life.
Absolutely.
You know, simply hear about Krishna, take prasad and dance.
There you go.
Chant and dance. That is life. That is the real life. Unnecessarily we have foisted all these troubles on ourselves. So this is this is why that is why actually the Lord actually comes, you know, to enable people, sadhakas, devotees, to join his pastimes and enjoy. Yeah? They get taste and then they say, oh Krishna, please take me back to Vaishnavi. Okay, come, you know. So next life is go back to Golok Vrindavan. Right? So like that. But Janivas Prabhu said, those pujaris, those who are every day they are serving the deities, they don't have to take birth again in Golok Vrindavan. They will go directly to Golok Vrindavan. Right? So because they are already trained how to do makeup and you know, once Ruby Bhatia ke saath Kapil karke makeup mein aata na, you know. So I told she introduced me, he is a makeup man for many Bollywood stars. Then I said, I am also a makeup man. So you do makeup for all these ladies and all, but I do makeup for others as well. Yeah. So like that, we have this ISKCON is established, right? So Lord comes, you know, Lord comes. So why Lord Balaram came? You know, like we are preparing for Janmashtami. So before Janmashtami, Lord Balaram comes. 10 days before Krishna appeared, Lord Balaram appeared. Okay? So all of you know how Vasudeva and Devaki they were going. You know? And then Akashvani told that the 8th child of Devaki will kill you. Then immediately he became very mythical and they were jailed and all that. So the first son was born, second son was born, third son was born. So all this, in the beginning, there are 6 sons they were born. They were the sons of Marichi. Right? So what do they represent? So they represent Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad or Vasari. These 6 are enemies. Like we are discussing Kam, Krodh, Lobh and all. So they were killed. They were killed. How come out of fear of Kamsa? You know, so Kamsa represents fear. Devaki represents compared to Bhakti. Right? She is Bhakti. So before actually Lord Balaram appeared, so these actually 6 have been killed. Like that, Vishnu Chakravarti says that those devotees who are practicing devotional service, even though they are practicing devotional service, but they have a desire for material sense enjoyment. You know, material sense enjoyment. So such devotees, sadhakas, they should be very afraid of material enjoyment, because if you indulge in sense enjoyment, then you will lose the opportunity to join the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So if you want to join the Lord's pastimes, we should give up the sense enjoyment. So for that we should be afraid. We should be afraid. Only when we become fearful of sense enjoyment, then only we can kill them. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, the only complaint with my disciples is that they are not afraid of Maya. So don't underestimate Maya's power. Maya is very powerful. But of course Krishna is more powerful. Sometime once one lady, after the lecture was over, she was saying, Swamiji, whenever I chant Hare Krishna, my mind also makes so many rounds. So how to control the mind? Srila Prabhupada said there is no need to control the mind, you simply chant Hare Krishna. No, but mind is very disturbed. So Prabhupada said no, you just keep on chanting Hare Krishna, mind is keeping on making rounds. You simply keep on chanting Hare Krishna, mind keeps on making rounds. One day Krishna's holy name will win. Prabhupada saying. So like that, we have to be afraid of sense enjoyment. Right? So we have to be afraid of Maya. Maya is very powerful, but Krishna's holy name is more powerful. So this, when this fear is there, what does Lord Balaram represent? What is the main bhavana of Lord Balaram? One is protection, another is service, seva. Right? These two are the bhavana of Lord Balaram. First is protection, another is seva. So Lord Balaram is eternal mood is to how to serve the Lord. So he becomes chappal. So when Krishna is not walking and he wants to sit on a throne, then he becomes a throne. When Krishna doesn't want to sit and then he wants to walk down, then he becomes an umbrella. Right? Then he wants to take rest, then he becomes a bed. But sometimes he wants to be always connected to Krishna, then he becomes a Brahmin thread, which will, and usually once you are initiated, you are not supposed to never take it out. Brahmin thread. So he becomes a Brahmin thread. So that is a constantly is engaged in service, devotional service. So before Krishna appears in our heart, we have to perform devotional service. That is why Lord Balaram, actually all this pastime has happened, description has started because King Maharaj Parikshit asked, how come, usually we have, ladies, without scientific advancement and all, they can give birth to sometimes 6 or 7 or 8 children. Right? Recently one lady gave birth to 8 children. Huh? Yeah. Like that. But have you heard a same one boy having 2 mothers? Huh? Huh? Have you heard? One boy having 2 mothers, not Sauteli Ma, but real Ma. Right? Huh? Like Balaram, in the beginning he appeared in the womb of Devaki. Right? Devaki, and then he got transferred to Rohini. So that is why he is known as Devaki Nandan and also Rohini Nandan. Right? So this is a unique feature of Lord Balaram, that he has 2 mothers. Right? Like he stayed in the womb of both, but sometime he stayed in the womb of Devaki and then he was transferred to Mother Rohini. Right? That is why he is known as both Rohini Nandan and Devaki Nandan. Like that. Then when we perform devotional services, then we become purified completely. Then Krishna appears. That Balaram appeared, then the devotional service. Then as a result of devotional service, we get Krishna Prema. Right? Like that. This is explained by Vishwanath Thakur. Is the entire why. So Lord Baladev, in the previous life, Lakshmanji, he was very frustrated and always, he has to carry out the orders of Ramji, and then he was very upset about that fact that, he always he has to do the thankless job, like arranging fire so that Sita ji will enter. And the worst job he had to do was he was always crying. That after pregnant Sita, he left pregnant. He had to leave. Ram told him, Lakshman, to leave pregnant Sita in the forest and come back. Then after that, he was very unhappy. He said, from now onwards, I will not take birth as a younger brother. So I will become elder brother only. But Krishna, Lord Rama, he told Lord Rama, see, whether you become younger brother or elder brother, I am only your guru. So if you see, in 10th canto Bhagavatam, Krishna becomes his guru. What happens at the time of initiation? Huh? What happens at the time of initiation? Huh? There is a ritual, no? What happens? Huh? Yajna happens. Then name is given, no? Right? You get a new name. So Krishna, before Lord Balaram appeared, he gave initiation. That he told Yogamaya that this embryo, child is there in the womb of Devaki. You transfer the baby to the womb of Rohini. So that is why he will be known as Shankarshana. Right? He is Rama because he gives pleasure to all the Brajavasis and all. And he is known as Rama. And he has lot of strength for protecting all the Brajavasis and all. Then he will be known as Balaram. So, before actually Balaram appeared, Krishna became his guru and initiated and all that stuff. Like that. So Lord Balaram actually he appeared. He appears to spread this consciousness of rendering service to Krishna. Okay? Like that. Then Krishna, Srila Prabhupada said, what is the difference between Krishna and Balaram? Huh? Only color. But otherwise they are identical. Like once everybody, Balaram thought everybody is crazy about Krishna. So Krishna, Balaram requested Krishna, for one day you give me your wish, your color and Balaram, Krishna said no problem, you take. So he gave his basuri, then he gave his color, he gave his pitambara, so Balaramji has taken the wish of Krishna, his color and his pitambara. So Kamsa meanwhile called Keshi demon and said, go and attack Krishna. So Keshi demon asked, how do you recognize Krishna? Said, oh, he is blackish in color and he is wearing turban, orange color turban with peacock feather, and then he is carrying bugle in one side and basuri in his hands, then he is wearing yellowish cloth. Otherwise Balaramji wears bluish cloth. Like that. Okay. Then Balaramji was walking in the wish of Krishna. So Keshi demon came and saw, hey, Krishna. So he gave him a kick. So Balaramji fell down. Said, oh, what is this, No, I am not Krishna. Then he ran away, Balaramji. Then he went back into Krishna. Said, no, I don't want your color. Please. You have got too many enemies. So Balaramji is like actually Krishna is like wo kala, wo basuri wala. But Balaramji is completely whitish complexion. When the cradle Palna. So when they kept Krishna, Balaramji on the Palna, so because all his bodily parts are just like lotus petals, white lotus. So Rohini and Yashoda, they was, where is Balaram? Where this? We kept Balaram in the Palna, but where this? How this white lotus flower has appeared? Or just like a concentrated moon rays, how they are whitish in color. So like that, Balaramji was like that. Like Svet Badal, like that. Then also very interesting thing, first time I heard, I don't know, there is a discussion when Lord Balaram, how old is he? How many days? How many years elder to Krishna? Is it like that? Or yesterday I was hearing one lecture. He was saying that he was only 10 days older to Krishna.